Hello, I'd like to present to you my portfolio by showing you that I can wear many hats. Literally. So first I have my designer's hat on and I'd like to show you a few pieces of design. This is a snapshot of a website from my previous place of employment. It's basically a landing page for one of my clients who is a gluten-free home baker. So while she was gathering information on her website, we put up a landing page for her. It's basically a photograph of different baking ingredients and the line that says, "This site has no cookies yet." The second and third pieces of design are my experiments with typography. This one is a personal conviction. We have to stop daydreaming and start committing our ideas to paper, which I really believe in. And this one is a verse from the Bible that I wanted to visually represent. I started typography experiments when Facebook started their concept of cover photos. I used to get bored with my cover photos ever so often and change them almost every week. That's when I started designing these on PowerPoint. The next role I'd like to assume is that of a poet. One of my friends introduced me to the concept of a poetry challenge where we give each other topics and we have to write out a poem in almost no time and then critique each other's poem. So the topic I got was surfing. I have never surfed before. I've never read anything about surfing. I've only watched people surf. So this was really a challenge for me to write something that I know very little about. But it was very nice to write this poem. The poem is not so much about what it is to surf or how the experience is, but it's more about overcoming your fears and doing something for the very first time, which was kind of apt because this was my first attempt at poetry itself. So I'd like to read out the first and the last few stanzas of the poem. It's called Freedom. It starts like this. Apprehensive at first, but willing to try the new. The sun is bright, the sand is hot, the sky is orange hue. And the last few stanzas go like this. The adrenaline weighs my legs down. I wasn't light enough. The wave knocked me over, but I didn't care. That was good stuff. Fear gone, determination taken over. I need to ride a wave. I understand now. It's not about being reckless. It's about being brave. I've tasted freedom now and I want more. I go back and try again until I ride that wave and lose sight of the shore. The next role I'd like to assume is that of a scriptwriter. So while preparing for the entrance test of CCC, I had attempted many copy tests, especially that of JWT, which appeared in the newspaper in 1984. And one of the writing assignments was to write a dialogue in a dark alley in not more than 200 words. And this is my attempt to that piece. Usually when I'm writing something really short, I like to think of the end first before the beginning. So this is how it starts. Voice 1 says, "Shh, did you hear that? The sirens? Yes, they are looking for us. Will they find us? No, I shot the cameras down, so they have no footage of us robbing the bank. What if one of the employees recognizes us? Impossible. We had masks on, and we changed our voices. No, I'm sure they can't track us down. Where should we go now? Let's wait here till the police clear out. Then you take the bag of gold and head back home. Where will you go? I'll follow you after a while with the money bag. We still need to be careful. We can't be seen together. You're going to walk behind me all the way back home? Walk? We can't walk with these bags. We have to take separate cabs. Okay. Frank? Yeah? I'll need to borrow money for my cab. Where's your wallet? I accidentally dropped it at the bank." The next role I'd like to assume is that of a reporter. Same copy test of JWT. there was a writing assignment to imagine ourselves as reporters and write about a strike in the middle of New York City. So basically, the transit authority had denied the requests of cab drivers all over the city to increase the taxi fares, because of which they had all gone on strike and parked their cabs at intersections, which brought traffic to a halt. So we had to write a report on this in about 500 words, and this was my attempt to it. I'm a big sucker for pun headlines, so I surprised myself when I wrote this headline. Next, I'd like to assume the role of a philosopher. Sometimes when I least expect it, words dance around in my mind to form some kind of philosophical statements, which are basically a reflection on life and my experiences. So these are a few jewels of wisdom. They are my take on life. Doodling is a treasure hunt on paper. The two overrated things in life are birthdays and Turkish delight. Honking is nothing but vehicles swearing at each other. The layers we wear, innerwear, outerwear, makeup, and a mood mask. There are movie watchers and then there are movie makers. It's good to spectate, it's better to create. The next role I'd like to play is one of my favorite roles, and it's that of a storyteller. So storytelling began for me when one of my nieces came up to me and said, "Can you tell me a story about Alicia?" And I had no idea who Alicia was, but I made up a story about Alicia anyway. And ever since, she's been asking for stories of Alicia during bedtime, lunchtime, playtime, practically all the time. Even when I was not with her, she would ask for stories over the phone and over Skype. And I decided that I should actually put Alicia down on paper, literally. And the opportunity came for a birthday, and I thought that I must actually write a story in the form of a book. So I created a story book with the story of Alicia. The story is about Alicia and the elephant, which is inspired by the Jaipur Elephant Festival. I also made a small package and I put a small elephant and created like a birthday package for them. And finally, I'd like to say that I'd want to be a learner, preferably at MICA CCC.